The ocean is full of fascinating fish, but few are as flamboyant as the parrotfish. Sure, it's got vibrant colors that would make a rainbow blush, but that's not its most bizarre trait. This fish crafts a protective cocoon made out of an interesting material. It's a bubble bath, but not exactly the kind you'd want to join. In the watery world of survival, sometimes you've got to get creative. Welcome to Life in the Depths, where spit saves the day here in Life, Death, and Taxonomy.
Welcome back to Life, Death, and Taxonomy. It's your 30 minutes of interesting animal information. I'm Joe.
And I'm Carlos.
Thank you to Cassie for the creation of our theme song. To hear more of Cassie's music, please search Cassie Michelle on YouTube or Spotify.
And thank you to Johanna for the creation of this week's artwork. To check that out, you can visit us at our home on the web at ldtaxonomy.com. And a very special thank you to our patrons, to Jesse Raspolich, Carol Raspolich, Richard Caspar, Lottie and Aubrey, Gray Hughes, and Wednesday Rabbit. Thank you so much for your support. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks for helping us keep the lights on.
And today we're talking about a fish that could almost sing in the tiki room, but more on that later.
You're going to have to elaborate on that. I'm lost.
You're lost?
Sing in the tiki room.
J.J. Abrams?
Yeah, the Pulitzer Prize winning novel by J.J. Abrams, Lost.
To pioneer the tried and true method of using the mystery box to tell stories.
The constant cliffhangers, the terrible endings. Yeah,
Unresolved?
I have seen 3 episodes of Lost. The first one somewhere in the middle, and then the very last one. So, I think I got it. I think I pretty much have the show in hand at this point. This was also 12 years ago. So
we're not talking about J.J. Abrams. We're talking about Lost. I mean, we're talking about the parrotfish.
Yes. The bullethead parrotfish, in fact. Because that's cool. That's the coolest one of all of the parrotfish. That's the one that's wearing the leather jacket with the grease back hair.
Almost sing in the tiki room because it's a parrot.
Oh, because he's a parrot. I see.
Yeah, but he's not quite.
That song was what got my son, when he was an infant, to stop crying. That's what we would sing to him. That and the Numa Numa song were his 2 favorite songs. So we would oscillate between those 2 whenever he was crying, and he would start to giggle. Didn't work for the other 2 kids as much, but I sing the song a lot. And I only know 1 verse from the Tiki Room song. I do know the Numa Numa song by heart. But that was when 13-year-old me had a lot of time on his hands, and there was only 1 viral video in the world, and so that was it. It does have words. It's in Romanian, and I know all the Romanian words, and I have no idea what any of them mean. So it could be lewd. It's not. I did look up the lyrics. It's fine. Anyway, yes, we are talking about the bullethead parrotfish, otherwise known as the daisy parrotfish. But we're going to call it here the Maestro of Mucus, the rainbow snout, and the phlegm fish fillet.
Phlegm fatale.
Phlegm fatale. This parrotfish is surprisingly not super lethal. So
it's not very fatale.
It's really heavy on the phlegm, kind of light on the fatale, with a side of fatale, a ramekin of fatale.
Gotcha. For gravy.
Yeah, garnish.
Fatale is apparently viscous.
Yes, it's. You don't need to worry about spills. But yeah. Do you have any science
I have
you'd like to share with us?
It's not really science, is it? You don't need the scientific... Well, I guess you do.
It is science.
You need the scientific method to classify. Because you might need to, like, have a hypothesis. Like, what do you... Don't you just test the blood and see and say... Yeah, this is DNA. No, yeah,
no,
you probably have to do
it's not based on
heavy
blood
research.
It's based on
sometimes it is.
It's based on bone
DNA.
Structure, dental structure. It's based on sexual isolation. There's a lot of things that go into what differentiates one species from another.
And DNA.
Yeah, but they've been classifying animals into species
since before they knew what DNA was.
Yeah, since before they knew about the dino DNA.
Mm-hmm. They're in the kingdom Animalia. You know it, you love it, you're in it. They're in the phylum Chordata.
Mm-hmm.
The class is Actinopterygii.
I knew it.
The order Labriformes, which is an order of ray-finned fishes, including wrasses, parrotfishes. Are we saying fishes now? Is it not like sheep? Fish?
Who's saying fishes?
Wikipedia.
I say fish still.
Fish are friends, not food.
Yeah.
Not fishes.
5 loaves and 2 fish, not 2 fishes.
They're in the family Scaridae, because we are getting close to fall.
Yeah.
Almost, we're a couple weeks away from October.
The parrotfishes, yes, that's our Halloween episode. Just doing it a little early.
It's Scaridae. The genus is Chlorurus.
Chlorurus?
Chlorurus. It's a green bear. A Chlorurus. That's a rural juror. Chlorurus.
Yeah.
Or unless it's Chlorurus. And then the species is Sordidus. Chlorurus sordidus.
All right. Yes. So since we're in the business of naming things, it's time for my favorite part of the show, nitty-gritty nomenclature. It's a fish. It's a school. It's those ichthyologists and their lack of imagination, or their lack of willingness to spend time on things that are not super important. This is the part of the show where I ask you, Joe, a question, and that question is the same every time. What is the English translation of the binomial nomenclature? Chlorurus, or I like Chlorurus, sordidus.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean in English? Does that mean A, dirty green tail, B, lewd gas dog, C, verdant dirt, or D, promiscuous green parrot?
Wait, I want the dirt. Is it dirt dog? What was that one?
Lewd gas dog.
I want lewd gas dog.
Are you answering with your heart or your head here?
I'm answering with my heart.
Well, yeah. Okay. Is that your final answer?
Sure.
That is incorrect. I made that one up.
No kidding.
It's my favorite Nickelodeon show, though. Lewd gas dog. The answer is dirty green tail. Sordid means dirty. It's funny because you mentioned green a second ago with chlorurus. Like,
mm-hmm.
Do you know offhand that chlorus means green?
Chlorophyll?
Yeah.
That I just figured.
Really? I did not know that meant green at all. I thought, I don't know, meant something having to do with plants. So then I had to...
I heard gas dog and my brain shut off.
But anyway, I just scrambled to add the word something green into the other answers, because then I was like, I only have one of these answers that has green in it, and you already know that chloris means green. So we're going to be in trouble. So I just put verdant dirt. I could have been sylvan dirt. That would have been good as well. Brings you back to my days of Magic the Gathering. Anyway, yes, dirty green tail is what Chlorurus sordidus means.
What a terrible name.
Yeah, for like a colorful reef fish, that is a pretty bad name.
Who did it? It was
Who did it?
Forskull.
Who's responsible? You're ready to point some fingers.
Forskull. He did it in 1770.
Yeah, which 18th century explorer is responsible for this monstrosity?
Right before America was founded, he was like, "I'm going to make a terrible decision."
Is he American? Was he American?
No,
huh.
He's Swedish.
Oh, so I'm completely separated from the situation. He was over there making Swedish decisions, and we were over here making freedom decisions.
But now every like July 4th, when they're like, it is the 200 and whateverth birthday of America, you will also know it's the 200 and whateverth one or first birthday of the naming of this fish.
Anniversary of someone naming a beautiful parrotfish dirty green tail.
Yeah.
Let's tell us what it looks like. We've been talking about how beautiful it is.
It's almost got an iridescence to it. Well, it's like submarine shaped, variable in color. When they're little, they can be dark to brown or dark brown to light gray. They're not that colorful, but the larger ones have light spots and bands and colors. If you look this up on, if you look Chlorurus sordidus up on Wikipedia, you will see a picture of a different fish. Chlorurus strongylocephalus.
Strongylocephalus.
Yeah.
My strong head.
Mm-hmm. But it is, as a parrotfish, it is got a rounded head. It's got a lot of it's iridescent, but it's got like a lot of green, a glowing green hue to it. Some blues. The most blue seems to be in the tail, bluish green. It almost, I would even say, is cleanest at the tail in terms of the coloration. The body has a little bit more brown on it, or purple. Again, iridescent. So it's hard to say what color it is.
So I mean, it means dirty green tail, but I mean, I think those two things are separate. It is dirty, but it also has a green tail. I don't think it's specifically saying that its tail is the dirty part, because Chlorurus means green tail and sordidus means dirty. So it's green tail, dirty boy.
Uh-huh. It's dirty, but it has a green tail.
Yeah.
In some lightings, it looks browner. But in others, it's just glowing. It's just glowing.
Maybe when that Swede had his eyes open under seawater and was staring at a parrotfish through his through the searing agony, he mistook the slight browning for dirt.
Yeah. Maybe he had dirt in his eyes. It has a beak. Parrotfish have a beak-like structure. So it's got like almost a parrotish face. And it's got a wide body that tapers down to a thinner tail. So how big is it? Welcome to the Beloved Measure Up segment, the official listener's favorite part of the show, the part of the show that's introduced by you when you send in an item yourself saying, singing, or chanting the words measure up into taxonomy@gmail.com. But it's also part of the show when we present the animal size and dimensions in relatable terms through a quiz that's fun for the whole family. We don't have a new measure up intro this week, which means we get to hear from an animal, and Carlos has to guess what it is.
I'll do it.
I think we didn't get a new measure up intro, but we got an email.
I like how Measure Up has become our listener mail segment.
Oh yeah, I don't think I read this yet. It's from Chanel. She has just given us 2 Measure Up, so she gets now she's giving us a story. We have an embarrassment of listener interaction. Hey, Joe and Carlos, I just looked up a picture of the acorn weevil, and immediately there was recognition in my brain from seeing something similar, but I couldn't figure out what. Finally, I realized it reminds me of the cowlek creatures in the level Zephyr from Spyro to Ripto's Rage.
Oh,
Did you ever
boy.
play Spyro games?
I played them at a friend's house for a little bit.
I think Ripto's Rage is the one that I owned. I only owned this one.
Was that on PlayStation 1?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
remember
it was
they
on the PlayStation
eventually released. I don't know. I eventually got Spyro for something else because I never had an early PlayStation. Maybe I didn't get Ripto's. Oh, I might have played this at they had a we would go to this hotel in Florida that they had a PlayStation in the room.
Ah.
And I think I played Ripto's Rage in there.
I think I just played the original Spyro game at a friend's house for like a couple of nights while I stayed there. But I never really got into it because I just didn't have it. It was one of those things where like I either had the game or a friend had the game or I didn't know it existed. So...
Mm-hmm. Well, she says, please look up a picture and tell me you don't see the similarities. I think it's big, beady eyes and proboscis. I think it's the big, beady eyes and proboscis. And even the coloring of them is similar. Just thought it was funny, and I saw a Reddit post of someone saying the cowleks look like weevils. So I know I'm not crazy. What do you guys think? I think this thing looks like an elephant.
Yes, it does. I'm just...
But the big eyes, the big, like, pupilless eyes.
This looks like a ground type elephant Pokemon.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
in the newer games it looks like that, but I can see in the old like polygon style of the old games it looks more like a Weevil. I'll give it that. I don't like these.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at them anymore.
It's an elephant.
It's got black eyes like a doll's eyes.
Yeah.
It definitely wants to take its snout and place it up against your chest and suck out your soul.
It's the thing that sucks up the tubby custard when the Teletubbies spill it.
Yeah, the part where the Teletubby show turns into a horror. I thought we were having fun, but you had to bring that thing out. You had to bring like robot Snuffleupagus into the fray.
Robot Snuffleupagus indeed. Let's, without further ado, the listener's favorite part of the show.
I was just that. What have you been up to this fine day? Well, first thing I want to know what I did.
Do you know who that is?
No, I do not. I mean, do I have options?
No.
No,
It's a kids thing.
Yeah, it's.
Don't you know all the kids shows?
I don't know all of them. Is it? I mean, if it's a Parrotfish, we don't watch any underwater ones. So, And right now we're
on
just
principle.
Yeah. Except for like we watched a couple episodes of the Octonauts, but right now we are on the Blippi and Gabby's Dollhouse and Blaze the Monster Truck train. And so those are the three shows we're watching the most. But
it's none of those.
Yeah, I know it's none of those.
It is the Rainbow Fish. Remember the book, The Rainbow Fish?
Yeah, with that one rainbow scale or whatever.
Yeah, it is that.
Oh. Is he a parrotfish?
No, I don't think so. But he's colorful, like, and iridociclitis, kind of like this.
Interesting.
I can't think of a parrotfish character.
There's probably one in, like, Finding Nemo or something like that.
Potentially.
There might be an Octonauts one. Speaking
of parrotfish, let's talk about their length. They're 40 centimeters or 16 inches. So I think I found a different way to say this so that I don't have to say 1/54th or 1/1060th. 40. Let's go. Let's start with A. 45 parrotfish go into the length of or the diameter of Laxey wheel, which is the water wheel. You know, like a mill wheel.
Mm-hmm. Any water wheel?
No, one specifically called the Laxey wheel.
Like a type or like an
individual one.
Oh, okay.
B, 4 of the parrotfish go into the largest ondel, which are giant puppets from the Betawi culture, often used in festivals and ceremonies to ward off evil spirits and entertain guests. What if your job was both entertainment and defending people from evil spirits?
You'd be an Elden Ring boss.
That does not ring true to me at all.
The one of the first bosses you fight is two people in a lion costume that defend against evil spirits, but also looks pretty entertaining. Like,
I didn't know it defended against evil spirits.
You and your
you
and your friends.
Or is it C? One of these goes into a jeweler's hammer.
A jeweler's hammer, 16
Man,
inches.
that was a stretch. That line isn't intended to entertain, and it doesn't really ward off evil spirits. You said the first one you encounter clearly does this.
Well, it's supposed to be like a one of those Chinese dragon things, which are intended to entertain. It's like it's modeled after a Chinese.
Oh, I see the mental thread.
Yes.
Oh.
And it defends the castle from what it perceives as evil. So calm down.
Yeah, I guess. It is still quite a stretch.
There's a stronger thread than you gave me credit for.
Still no.
Jeweler's hammer. A final answer.
Stronger, but not forgotten. The final answer,
yes.
The correct answer, is 54 of them go into a Laxey wheel.
Yeah,
the Laxey wheel, also known as the Lady Isabella, is the largest surviving original working water wheel in the world, located in Laxey, Isle of Man.
Water wheel in the world.
It's the original working water wheel in the world.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I just think of the Shire when I think of a water wheel.
I've been playing the game Kingdom Come Deliverance, and in that game is a day-night cycle. So when you walk into a town at night, other than like guards patrolling, there's nothing happening. You have to like sleep in order to go to shops and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I was walking through one of these towns in a water wheel mill. Like on the inside, there was all this noise, and I looked in the window, and the saw, it was a sawmill. The saw was going. I'm like, why is there this still on? And I thought to myself, you can't turn off a river. You can't. The saw goes all the time, unless you can somehow disconnect it from the mechanisms.
Yeah, or lift the wheel out of the water.
Right.
Yeah, it turns always.
Yeah. So mills just go. And I guess you can like probably pull a lever and like put a stop to it. But anyway, let's talk about their weight. They're 2 kilograms or 4.4 pounds. Is it A, 130 of them go into a terracotta warrior? B, 50 of them go into the Sanshidui bronze mask, or one of the largest Sanshidui bronze masks. Shanxing? SANXINGDUI.
XI is she. I know that much.
Sanshingdui. Dewey, D-U-I? That doesn't sound...
I
can't think of the sound.
I don't
for
remember all of the romanizations for Chinese, but...
I also don't understand why X is a she sound. There's no X in Chinese. It is characters. We, Westerners, put the X for that sound. We've made a huge mistake.
I think it might be pronounced differently than just an SH, though. It's my same thing with, like, Stephen in the Bible being, like, spelled PH. It's like you would either have whatever the V sound is for in Greek, because it was written in Greek, or you would have the, what is it, the theta symbol. So there would be no, like, ambiguity as to how to pronounce his name. And then you should just put a V there if it's a V sound. Anyway.
Or see 100 of them go into a giant panda.
A giant panda. 440 pounds for a giant panda. That's conceivable. 572 pounds for a terracotta warrior. No idea about any sort of masks. I spent a month in the city where the terracotta warriors are, and I never saw them. I was just like, this is a bunch of dumb statues underground. Like, why would I want to look at those? I would much rather go eat.
And do touristy stuff? Like, what did you do? You played paintball or something?
Paintball?
Oh, that was in Rome.
It wasn't paintball. I played ping pong.
You rode scooters or something?
Oh, yeah, those were... we rode segways in Rome instead of going to the Sistine Chapel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Andrew's ever forgiven me for that. But to be fair, I went to the Sistine Chapel later, and I wasn't impressed.
But at least you went.
I mean, I was impressed at, like, someone in that era was, painted this. But it's just not as, like, spectacular as you think it's going to be. And also, it's a violation
Isn't it, like,
of the
really
second
high up?
Commandment. It is very high up.
Oh, yeah, it's the second commandment.
It's a lot smaller than you think it's going to be. There's a lot more nudity than you think that there's going to be. And it's a second commandment violation. So all kind of marks against it. And it takes forever to get in there. And then you walk around, you look up, and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that's it. And then you walk out. And I was like, I wish I was on a Segway. The Da Vinci Museum that's nearby is way more interesting. Anyway. Well, Terracotta Warrior is my final answer. Because I'm not doing any more thinking about this. Yeah, of course. The one I have no reference for. Mm-hmm. So why the China theme? It certainly was a China theme. Okay, let's get into them. So countries other than China. Yeah, most of the coast. It is a lot. Most of it is not China. Yeah, but it has to contend with thousands of islands, all of which have coastlines. Water. Most of it is water. Yeah, it is most of the world's ocean. It means two out of two out of the seven seas. Yep. Um. Oh, where are our topics? Now I gotta go bang. Yeah, but what if the bottom of that yogurt cup was just like the best food? It was like it wasn't yogurt. Like, what if you needed a spoon to get to like Cool Ranch Dorito dust that stuck to it? So yum, so much yum, and just so in such a small package. Oh, what? Dorito dust is Dorito dust is drugs. So there's that. Pufferfish is what we're talking about. That's the one that has that just spends its life crushing things. Yeah, they have like two big teeth that just kind of close together, like Larry the cucumber. Mm. I feel like more fish die in the ocean every day than humans, though. That's true. You know what? That's one of those things where you take a statistic like way out of context and you're like 7,000% more fish die in the ocean every day than humans, and then just leave it at that and walk away. To fish, yes. Therefore, we should be down there and not the fish. Oh, don't get started on the book stuff. That and the Pout Pout Fish book also. There's probably just 2 books in that library. Like, don't be sad. And also Watership Down is in there because they didn't know what it was about before they got it. They're like, this is definitely a book for fish. Because we live in a downed water ship. So this is going to be a book about home. Oviviviparous? Oh, we're missing some syllables this time. Yeah, so if you add the word vivi in there, oviviviparous means that they hatch in eggs inside the parent. But it's just unfortunate that there's a lot of V's already in the word. And then they had to add 2 more. Yes. It's like you have a stutter. I do have a big fact that I forgot to name. We'll call it Spit Sleeper. There we go. So the parrotfish, well, fish in general need to be wary of parasites and bacteria and fungus and stuff like that can grow on them. So a lot of fish have different ways of avoiding this from happening, preventing this from happening. And for a good portion of fish, they just keep moving. Even when they're sleeping, as long as they keep moving, it's more difficult for things to attach themselves and grow on the fish's body. The parrotfish wants to be in one place when it sleeps, though. And so has developed this pretty ingenious way of preventing problems during sleep. And what it does is it has this mucus that it secretes from a specialized gland, and in pretty short order can surround itself in this protective layer of slime that it spits out, like a cocoon. When I first heard that it lives, like it has this protective layer of slime, I thought it was like, oh, you just can't see it, or maybe it's just like just over its scales or something like that. No, it's a full bubble with a fish inside, and the fish is asleep. And this creates a physical barrier, and also a chemical barrier, which I'll talk about in a second, against all of the problems that can come when you are a fish that is asleep. So it creates this bubble every night, most nights at least, before settling down to sleep the night away. And that's obviously when it's most susceptible to threats. The mucus is clear. It looks like it's fragile, but it's actually pretty durable. It's kind of like spider silk, where it stretches and is not easily torn apart. But it's also semi-permeable, so water can come in and out, and the fish doesn't suffocate inside of the bubble. So it's kind of the perfect material. So this bubble blocks the harmful pathogens and parasites that like to attach themselves to fish and grow, and that would specifically latch onto them when a fish stops moving and is stationary and vulnerable. It also stops things from getting out, specifically the fish's scent, which is really nice if you want to go to sleep and you're a fish in the ocean where there are lots of things that want to snack on you. It's good that your scent is not just floating out there, because it doesn't matter how good of a hiding spot you found. If a shark can pinpoint your location, you're a goner. But if you create this nice little mucus bubble that keeps all of your BO in one place, like a college dorm room, and I've been to several. I didn't live on campus or anything like that, but I went to several of my friends' college dorm rooms, and they all smelled exactly the same. I'm not like it. There's just a musk that accumulates, and I don't know if my room at my house smelled like that. Maybe it did, but I don't know. So anyway, it keeps its musk contained so that it makes it harder for predators to find it. It makes it harder for parasites to grow. Makes it harder for pathogens to make their way to the fish. Also, this is an energy conservation, because this mucous membrane passively fights off parasites. The parrotfish doesn't have to, actively keep moving or rubbing against things, or maybe getting something like a cleaner wrasse to come and having to pay a cleaner wrasse to eat parasites off your body. And it's also a better energy strategy than running away, swimming away, or hiding for long periods of time. It just lets it pick a spot, set up camp, set up its yurt, and hang out there. And then when it wakes up, the parrotfish eats the cocoon. Done. Yes. And then it rinses, repeats the next night. So if you have the opportunity, check it out. Check out a picture of it, because it's really cool to see that like this fish is in the self-contained bubble. It's like, how did it get in there? Well, it created it, spat it out. It's in a sleeping bag of spit. But yeah, that's and this is parrotfish in general do this. I just picked the bullet head parrotfish because it's called the bullet head parrotfish. And I don't know if this is what was so sordid about the fish. Again, also my eyes really hurt from holding them open under seawater all this time. I don't know how as an 18th century naturalist, I am observing fish so well. A torch. He has a lit torch in his diving bell. So yeah. I don't know. Maybe like you see like the drawing. I mean, the diving bell was back in like. The concept is back in like Alexander the Great's time, like, and the people in Southeast Asia do those like free diving, like pearl hunting and lobster hunting, and it's like, does it just not affect? Am I alone, or is it rare that somebody's eyes are like hurt in seawater, or maybe something you just get used to? Really? I have never. I guess I've always whenever I've opened my eyes, I was like, "Wow, that really stung," and then I just never did it again for the rest of my like that beach trip. So I've never like, oh, I should do it again. I'm just gonna open my eyes again until it stops hurting, and I'm sure everything will be fine. Yes, it feels like it's blinding me actively. So I'm doing permanent damage to my vision. So there's nothing in me that was like, I would like to power through this. Anyway, it's probably not dangerous, but I opened my eyes in pools, and that would start off not hurting and then hurt by the end. Yeah, that would be worse. That's chlorurus. Damn. It's not because you're being injured. It's because the ocean's trying to rip your eyeballs out. Fret not, you sweet summer child. Open your eyes in the ocean. Both are painful, and that's another thing where it's like, so by that same logic, like, oh, I opened my eyes underwater and it hurt, I should open them some more so that it, like, I get used to it. You can't apply that to staring at the sun, which is also something that you try and it hurts, and then you don't do it again. Oh, nice. It because it doesn't make the light go away. The lights, it just makes it not visible to you, but it doesn't. Oh, maybe it just completely scatter blue light, and so it doesn't. Blue light just doesn't enter your eye. But I'd imagine the photons are still headed straight into your iris. We are way off topic. So, you got anything else on Parrotfish? All right, for you out there in Podcastia, go find a cozy coral hole, snuggle in tight, and wrap yourself in a protective spit snuggie like the bullethead parrotfish here in Life, Death, and Taxonomy.
Hey Taxonomy Titans, I just want to remind you that we now have a Patreon. Patrons can see full video episodes and get shoutouts on the show. But ultimately, it's a way for you to help us cover some costs and get even better. Still, reviews are the best way to help us grow. So if you haven't left one yet, we'd really love to hear from you. As always, thanks for listening and engaging.
Anime is my favorite in the world podcast.
It doesn't. How come I can still see blue color? You know, with a blue light filter, isn't blue color just reflecting blue light?